Oops. Hello everybody, I'm Martin. Welcome to another episode of Minecraft Enigmatica 2 Expert. And I think we all know why we're here today, right? You saw the word finished in the thumbnail? Yeah? You've watched the other 111 episodes maybe? Perhaps? Yes? Today, we're going to finish Enigmatica 2 Expert, because we don't have that much left to do. This might look like a scary set of things, but we have the creative drawer, so let's get to it and start with the Infinity Armors. And the armors are all pretty much the same. It's a bunch of Neutronium with a bunch of Infinity Ingots, with some Infinity Catalyst, and the Draconic piece. And I had some reservations with this initially because you see how there's no charge on the Draconic Helm, and you can also upgrade these things. I was a smidge worried that we couldn't actually do that with the existing pieces we have, and I was going to have to remake the whole Draconic set. Well, good news, everybody. That is not a problem, because here we go. Infinity achieved. We are now completely invulnerable instead of just functionally invulnerable. So, beep boop, beep boop. Let's continue on. Which brings us to all of the Avaritia equipment. And these are pretty much more of the same, although occasionally we need crystal matrices too. But, well, those we can shove in a creative drawer too, although I apparently haven't done that yet. Alright, there, I solved it. It's up in the drawer directly above my head there now. So now we've got a whole stack of these. And I was going to say that, just like the armor, these are all pretty much the same, except I found an exception. Pack, why you gotta do me dirty like this at the finish line? Because we need some rock wool. Now, thankfully, rock wool is pretty easy to make. We just need to process some slag real fast. But, right at the end? Really? Really? Well, I was wrong. It did me dirtier than that, because I need to go make some stuff real fast. Because to make the World Breaker, we need the Draconic Pickaxe. And also we need to make the shovel, because we used those way back to make the Staff of Power. Alright, now we have all the fancy infinite rainbow gear done. That was only a little annoying. That only thankfully took a couple minutes. But that wraps up that section, which leaves us with the remaining creative items. And there's one that's going to be kind of an annoying hitch when we get to it, but we'll do that one last. Let's start with the creative flux capacitor, which looks intimidating, but totally is not. Alright, and I'm not going to lie, putting these capacitors in was kind of annoying because they don't stack. But we're done. Next, let's do the creative CAD assembly for Psi, which we could possibly have done earlier, but we would need the infinity block, as well as this full spectrum CAD colorizer, which, oh no, this is super easy. And then a bunch of the guns, but the guns are just these ivory side metal ingots, which is just a bunch of substance wrapped around a side metal ingot, which I loaded up directly above my head there before I even stopped the last time I was playing, because I knew this was coming. Alright, and another one, very quickly finished. Next up is the creative block exchanger, which, well, we've got all these catalysts for free, we've got a rod of shifting crust somewhere, the creative ending upgrade we have, we mostly just need to make the exchanging gadget, which, I'll give you a hint, building gadgets, really simple to make. So yeah, no major hitches with this one. Which brings us to the creative mill. This one's going to take a little bit of work, because there's something we haven't made here that's actually pretty scary, and some of the stuff we haven't automated. Like, we're going to have to make a bunch of these mills, but the mills aren't hard to make. It's just going to take a bit of time to make one of each of these things and then clone them. But what we haven't made is the Opinium Core at the Amazing tier. And this is going to get expensive because, well, not expensive, but time consuming, because we're going to have to put all this stuff in drawers and then drill down through here to make the couple that we haven't made before. And I can't remember which ones where we stopped before. It might have been the good core previously, but I guess let me figure out what I need to do here. Alright, so this one was annoying just due to the sheer amount of stuff I had to make, because I had none of the mills automated, and I had to load in a large chunks of this table manually instead of just straight through GAI. So, whatever, done. And that leaves us with the one that I'm dreading, because this one's going to require making a whole bunch of stuff for the first time, or that we're going to have to shove all in drawers, because I haven't made a lot of these things like the blue slime crystals and whatnot. So let me go start. You know, thankfully I think I've gotten a bunch of these from the various loot chests I've gotten, but hopefully I have the right ones. But let me go shove a whole bunch of this stuff in drawers and try to get this process going. Alright, and one last thing done finally. Although I had to actually go find purple slime balls because I hadn't actually gotten them from an island yet. But that means we have completely finished up the bragging rights section. We're done now, right? Right? For the record, this is why I have not finished Thaumcraft, because this is going to be the last causality collector I ever make. I didn't want to have to make an unknown number of these prior to trying to finish this. Alright, in case we've forgotten how to do this, we just throw a whole bunch of sources of evil inside a cauldron, and then kick yield cauldron over to empty it out and throw a whole bunch of flux into the air, and then we wait for the rift to form. And it appears pretty quickly. We could wait for this to grow and become a bigger rift, and actually give us better odds to getting a primordial pearl, but we have infinite. We might as well just keep blowing these up until we get one. And this will cause it to shrink and kick out some void seeds. You know what I really hate? Twilight Forest blocks the Avaritia Infinity Armor. I can't actually fly in here. And I didn't bring my multi-jump boots, nor do I want to take this off and make myself not invincible. The things I do for you guys. So completely, thoroughly tainted this whole area that it's just constantly spawning rifts nonstop as soon as I destroy one. But I think there's my pearl, and I think we're good to go. Yep, primordial nodule. Alright, so here we are on the altar one last time. So what I had to do was scan the nodule that I got with the thermometer, and thankfully the nodule is good enough for what we need here. Because the nodule opened up the primordial pearl knowledge that we needed to unlock the greater focus, which means we now have the greater focus open, and in theory we need this oromancery theory right here, but the reality is this gives us the recipe because we have to make it. So I think I can just go push the button and we can now make this, although I had to go grind out a bunch of materials to get like the 100 vacuos. I did rethink this as I was starting to do it, and I realized I only needed 10 vacuos to create a file, which then I can duplicate into infinite vacuos. So that ended up not being too bad. But I guess let's push the button and see if this works. And it looks like it's kicking off. There goes the essences. And here we go. And with that completed, well, we are now completely done with Enigmatica. All done. All check marks finished. And it only took me just shy of 19 days played, which, if you do the math, comes out to almost 450 hours right on the dot. That's a whole lot of time I'm just not ever getting back. So let's go take one last trip around my base and say goodbye to the pack.
Hey, listen up, I've tried to tell you this 100 times. Not getting better by lying there pretending to cry. You on repeat, you can see, cause you have closed your eyes. You say you listen, but you're missing what it's all about. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah. I try to help you, but you keep reading between the lines. There's nothing there for you to complicate, we're not aligned. You say you listen, but guessing that's just another sign. Not growing up, you're growing old, your life keep passing. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah. Now if you break it, I can take it, I don't need a prize. Leave out the fact that I am up against 1,000 guys. My intuition efficient, cause I can use my mind. Don't try to tell me how it's done, you haven't done your time. Rise up now. If you never fall, you don't change at all. Cry out now. Have you given up? I will never stop, yeah.
Okay, so the draconic reactor might have been a little bit overkill. Anyhow, this has been an extremely long ride for me, and I want to thank every last person who has joined me on it, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. As always, I'm Ard. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.